In one of the earlier episodes, I had mentioned how things had gone awry in Brindavan in February, March 1978. And it looked like Swami was very upset, and it would take a long time. And in fact, it did take a long time for Swami to again come back and shower his love on us. He was quite upset about our behavior. He said that it's not up to the mark. And it was on the 8th of March 1978. Of course, the 8th of March is a very important day by itself. It's the day on which the scorpion, the alleged, I should say, scorpion sting, which from which Swami actually became a different person to the world. Of course, all that was a drama because Swami had to somehow convey to the world that he was not like all of us. And so people say that a scorpion stung, although the scorpion was never found. And many of the elders tell us that Swami holding the right toe was an indication that he had gone on an astral trip to save some devotee, because the same thing happened on the 9th of March also in 1940, when Swami, again at the same time 7 o'clock, Swami left his body and went on a astral travel, or what used to be called transcorporeal journey. He went to save some devotee. Okay, this so on the 8th of March, Swami pardoned us, and he had come to the hostel, and there was a discourse which Swami gave, after which Swami, of course, gave us a nice scolding, and he told us how we should conduct ourselves and behave. And the entry on the 10th of March 1978 reads like this. In the evening, Swami gave darshan to devotees, and he called all of us and gave us Pada Namaskar. He advised us to study well and get first class. Of course, this getting first class is a very interesting thing, because in those days, one day Swami came to the hostel with Mr. Sohan Lal, and Swami told us that Sohan Lal has come here, he has some plan. And Swami said, Sohan Lal bolo. And Mr. Sohan Lal said, Swami, of course, prepared us by talking to us in Telugu. Mr. Sohan Lal could not understand Telugu. So Swami said he will ask you some things. He will say that he wants to take Swami to Kashmir, and you all don't permit. You can say that there are exams and all ahead, and you want Swami by your side, and so you won't permit. And finally, of course, when Mr. Sohan Lal said, boys, I want to take Swami to Kashmir, is it fine? Then we all said, no, sir, we can't permit Swami to be taken to Kashmir, as if Swami belonged only to us. And Swami was egging us on in Telugu, itla cheppandi, atla cheppandi, and Mr. Sohan Lal did not know that Swami was at the root of all this, because we were so courageously telling Mr. Sohan Lal, no, we can't permit Swami to be taken like that. And he said, no, it is just for about 20-25 days. We said, no, exams are there, and we want to have Swami with us. And then Swami was indicating to us in Telugu that tell that if he takes you also with me, then you have no objection. And so we said, when he said, now tell me, what should I do? How do I take Swami with me? We said, sir, if you take us also with Swami, we don't mind. And then he said, of course, I will arrange for a plane in which all of you can come with Swami. That's what he said. From that time onwards, Swami started telling that all of you study well. If you study well, I'll take you to Kashmir. Of course, if you get a rank, you can sit with Swami in the front. If you get a first class, you will have to sit at the back of the plane. If you get a second class, you will have to be at the airport. And of course, if you fail, you will have to be in the hostel only. And every time he comes to the hostel, Swami would say, hey, Kashmir trip, first rank. Kashmir trip, first class. He used to keep on telling this. So this day also, Swami was telling us that study well and get first class and ranks. He gave all of us Pad Namaskar, as I mentioned, and then he left on his North India tour at 7 p.m. The flight took off at 7:30 p.m. and the next morning we got a message from Delhi. Swami writes that they arrived in Delhi at 11:45 p.m. You know, there were crowds everywhere, Swami says. The whole place was a sea of people. The devotees' joy at welcoming Swami was tremendous, and it must be seen to be believed, he says. And then he says, today, a public meeting, various officials and lakhs of devotees attended this. When I see how they struggle to come near me, I feel happy that my boys have the unique privilege of being near. You know, Swami probably, I feel, felt that he had been very strict with us. And so, with this enormous love, he was trying to make us forget that chapter. He wanted us to take lessons from there, but to remember that Swami's sweetness itself. So he says, when I see how they struggle to come near me, that is the lakhs of people, I feel very happy that my boys have the unique privilege of being so near. But they are not experiencing even 1,000th of my joy, Swami says. So Swami says, you are not experiencing even a fraction of the joy that I feel when I see you all close to me. And he says, now comes the very personal, very touching part. Swami says, it is 11 p.m. now. I thought you will all be happy to, so he says, actually I thought of you, and I thought you would all be happy to receive a letter from me. So I am writing this letter. But there is no pen around, so I am writing with a pencil. Everyone is very busy. No one is there near me now because Swami has already retired to his room upstairs. He says, I am alone in my room. I have bolted the door, and I thought of all of you, and I felt I should write this letter. I knew you will all feel happy. Tell all the boys, he tells the warden, tell all the boys to read well. This was the beautiful letter that Swami wrote. Even when surrounded by lakhs of people around, Swami had time to think of all of us, and more importantly, to convey to us that he is thinking of all of us. This was on the 10th of March that year. On the 17th of March, Swami sent a message to us through a telegram intimating his arrival in Hyderabad. Just imagine when lakhs of people all over the country were making a beeline towards Swami. Swami was intimating to us his arrival at Delhi, his arrival at Hyderabad, and here he has asked, how are the boys? Are they studying well? Exams are approaching. Ask them to study well and be good. I am coming soon. It was like a mother whom, however busy she might be on her travels and on official work, on top of her mind are her children. She remembers her children, their exams, their whatever is happening in their lives. And this is how Swami was indicating to us. Then on the 20th of March 1978, today Swami arrived from Hyderabad in the evening at 4:20. Even though Swami had arrived so late, we had a sitting in the bungalow. Of course, Thai sessions in those days used to be called as bungalow sittings because we didn't have coin a name, but we would call it as sessions with Swami. Dr. Bhagawantam spoke about the lessons he had learned from the recent visit with Bhagawan. It was the time, if we remember politically, what had happened was in 1977, the Janata Party had formed the first non-Congress government, and Swami was visiting Delhi for the first time after this, and there was a sea change in the political atmosphere in the country. And so Dr. Bhagawan says, firstly, all barriers, political, social, linguistic and communal, dissolve in the presence of Bhagawan, he says. Secondly, he says we cannot monopolize the Lord. Till now we feel that Swami belongs to us. Swami belongs to us just like he belongs to everyone else. Swami is nobody's personal private property. His heart is open to accept everyone, and he finds lodging in every heart. Of course, he makes everyone feel that personal touch. And here, to be in Brindavan at that time, you got a chance to hear Swami say that he was close to us. That was the beautiful thing. He said he is everybody's possession. This is what Dr. Bhagavan says. He quoted evidences to show how people in distinguished positions were all thrilled to hear his discourse. At that time, Swami had given a discourse in the Vigyan Bhavan. Swami had gone to Vigyan Bhavan, which was the biggest, the most important auditorium in those times. And lot of foreign dignitaries and VIPs and ministers and the vice president and everyone had come. In fact, I remember that time when Swami went to the stage, the vice president had come, and suddenly Swami noticed there was only one chair. And so quietly, he sat on the stage. Of course, all the VIPs also sat. So, and Swami, you can see that in a very famous photo in which Swami is playing with rose petals. Okay, this was that visit, and he says how all the important people had come there to hear Swami's discourse. Jai Prakash Narayan, who was at that time a very famous figure, he had been instrumental in getting the Janata government in place, and so he was kind of revered all over the country. He had heard Swami, and it seems he told R.R. Divakar, who was sitting next to him. Sri R.R. Divakar himself was a very important minister, information and broadcasting minister, and he had told him that look, this is the simplest way in which Vedanta can ever be explained. I have never heard anyone explaining Vedanta in such a lucid manner. That's what he said. And then Dr. Bhagavantam described how narrated some experiences concerning Sikandar Bhakt. Sikandar Bhakt, of course, was the foreign minister of those days. Mr. Vajpayee, who was also a very important figure in the political horizon. Ashok Mehta was very important in the Panchayat Raj ministry. He was in charge of some Panchayat commission and so on. And I.G. Naidu, who later on became our institute's finance officer, a very, very important figure, ICS officer in those days. Swami had appeared physically before him in the morning at 11 a.m. Swami does not care for one's position. The Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, he spoke of Swami's visit to children's home. He also told us how Swami had an extensive discussion about the field of education with P.C. Chundar, the education minister, the union education minister. And Dr. Bhagavantam was standing, and all of them were so thrilled by that trip with Swami to New Delhi. And Dr. Bhagavantam was standing near me, and very affectionately Swami said, "Kuchondi Bhagavantam, chala sepu nilchukonaru." Sit down, Bhagavantam, you have been standing for a long time. The answer given by this scientist, Mr. Bhagavantam, Dr. Bhagavantam, was, "Ledu Swami, మీ పక్కంలో నిల్చుకుంటే ఏమీ తెలియదు. When I stand near you, Swami, I don't feel any of this pain and all those things. The stress, I don't feel at all. I feel very relaxed and very comfortable." There was so much of love in the way he narrated it, and one could see even a tough scientist at the core has a soft heart. This is what that indicated. We'll stop with this for today and continue in the next session.